All right, what's going on, YouTube? What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel, Connor on Chain. Let's dive into the market because the market has taken a massive bloody dip. All right, everything is in the red very heavily. As you can see, Bitcoin has kind of fallen through, that daily fairly strong support that it was holding for a while. But, even in my last video I just dropped the other day, I was saying that this definitely has a chance of breaking. This momentum, you can just almost look at momentum just by drawing it, right? I never want to, tell everyone, oh, you could just see the chart just by drawing it. You can tell which way it's going. Like, no, you need a lot of different confluences, 100% to know that. But, seeing just this momentum, trying to bounce, failing to break into new highs, coming back down, touching a support area where it's been, failing to make new highs yet again, and it came back down. It's kind of sitting over here. Once you see when price is really trying to push to the upside, but it's not actually doing it, you can see the momentum. It's like it's trying to push, then it's trying to push again, but now it's trying to push again, but it's even weaker. It's getting weaker and weaker, but the support's still being held. That's how you can kind of tell when momentum is about to shift. So that's where it ended up going. It broke right through. But as far as for this dip, it's where it can go. It's hard to tell. It's always going to be very difficult to know where this market is going to go. There could be scenarios where Bitcoin does, it could maybe just absolutely nukes to 50K in the next 2 days, which I don't think that's going to happen, but maybe this does bounce around. It continues to be a little bit bearish, comes back up, maybe it tests, tries to go again at another support, breaks through that, bounces one more time, and then maybe it makes a triple bottom here, some sort of triple bottom before it rips again, bounces, rips. It could pull something kind of like that. But that's the thing when you're in crypto is you have to prepare yourself for moves like this, whether it is taking profits, whether it's holding through these, you guys just have to have a game plan in which you do it. And for me, in certain cases, it might not be the smartest thing to do 100% of the time, but what's worked for me through the last bull run is just holding, hodling, and continuing to add to your top conviction coins on dips, and that is what's worked for me. And so at this point, it's just as Bitcoin continues to go lower, just slowly accumulating on dips, because, in my opinion, this bull market is not over by any means. Like, yeah, we did have a very quick run up, months early from when, in comparison to past cycles, months early from where it's usually been. But, as far as for right now, momentum is definitely still trending to the downside, but there is a good chance that this could be close to a bottom, if not the actual bottom, right? So we got I was looking at the RSI too. It's very low on the daily. So it's getting to a point of oversold. If this does come down, if this comes, underneath the 30 mark here, which you can see right here, if it comes below that 30 mark, that's going to be a very good indicator, at least for the short to medium term, that there probably will be some sort of bounce, but how long that bounce will last is going to mainly be defined by the weekly chart. Because on the weekly, the RSI, you can see, in previous bull cycles, we've hit areas up here, and we've drawn all the way down, and then we never recovered from here in the previous one. But here we actually had a double bounce into oversold area. Oh no, I'm sorry, overbought. What am I saying? It's come back down. It's come down very heavily here. But again, in a case like this, we just had the halving, right? Like maybe 2 weeks ago, just over 2 weeks ago now. And I still think it is very, very early in the cycle to say that this was the absolute top, because every cycle previously, if we look after when the halving hits, most of the price movements happen a few months after the halving, right? You know, the halving I think it was another, but in between March and May. I'm pretty sure it was May of 2020, and it took what, maybe 4, 5, 6 months before we even started to see, you know, Bitcoin really start to trend up and make those new highs. But obviously in this cycle it's different because at the halving we were literally at all-time highs, right? So to see just like a dip here, a minor dip, even some minor sideways action for a little while, I would not be surprised to see this continue and just maybe bounce. Maybe it does come all the way down to 48 to 50, but you know, initially if you saw my previous videos, you know, one of my main targets, if it was to continue down, was around 56K. You know, it's been a target in my head for a while. But I think, you know, if this continues to bounce, but it's not showing enough strength still, which is possible, you know, we could see this come all the way down to maybe like 52 to low 50s. I don't think it's going to go much lower than that. Maybe it wicks into 48, 49. Worst case, that is my best guess for this. Because again, it's hard to know where this market is going to go. You almost got to prepare yourself for both directions. You know, the best thing that's worked for me is just holding and hodling through these dips, you know, in like the top coins, your top conviction altcoins. You know, just continue to add because over time, you know, our end goal is what? Is to see Bitcoin, you know, well above all-time highs. You know, none of us that have been in crypto for years now, none of us are expecting this to be the end of the bull run, right? A move from the lows back to all-time highs. Like what are we gonna pack it up, call it a day? Like, yep, nope, that's it. Bitcoin's over, boom. That's it. Going into 2026, gonna pull the McDonald's. The McDonald's M chart. Holy. But nah, I mean, in reality though, anything can happen in this market. It's very hard to know. But again, just based on previous cycles, you know, no matter what has happened, you know, outside of in macro economies, you know, we've seen these parabolic runs, you know, well after the halving, right? Just because we're experiencing a dip here, it really doesn't mean that this entire bull market's over. You know, it was definitely showing signs that it was overbought, overheated, like very heavily. But again, I still don't think this is the end of it. We have not seen many alts. You know, specifically crypto gaming, I feel like we haven't even seen a full out massive run for crypto gaming yet. You know, we have not even seen like micro cap gaming coins, you know, have their shine, have their like time of day. You know, obviously we saw AI coins rip like crazy, which, you know, I love AI coins. Bitcoin DeFi had multiple different rips and pumps, which is good to see. RWAs even had their own, you know, semi-medium pump. But, you know, a lot of crypto gaming just hasn't had that, you know, the movement yet. But I do expect that at some point to hit very hard. You know, so that's what I got for Bitcoin here. So let's jump into alts. So it's already been 8 minutes and 40 seconds. I'm going to link it below. You know, so let's jump into a bunch of random altcoins. So we're going to cover some memes here. You know, WIF, I'm not talking about WIF right now because it's the top Solana meme coin. Like, this is just an overall sentiment gauge. I feel like if you just look at this coin, because most of the top meme coins on Sol, you know, they're going to follow the idea of the trajectory of WIF. You know, where WIF obviously has had insane strength. The dip has not been very bad. It's only like 50%, which again, in meme coins, that's not very bad at all. It's holding up well. The strength is incredible on it, to be honest. You know, and I think some of the strongest Sol meme coins, you know, their charts are kind of like this as well, in a sense where they've had really good rips. They've corrected only a little bit, and they're not doing too bad. You know, another one is actually Popcat. Like this one, I think that Popcat may be the next major runner on Sol. But yeah, the Popcat strength has been unbelievable. As you can see, you know, obviously through April, this dipped mid-April, but from mid-April to now, this really just has not had too much volatility, and it's still close to all-time highs, which is nuts. So that's kind of what I mean. Like, a lot of the greater Sol meme coins that are holding up, are at very good prices right now. Are maybe not good for entries, but what I mean is they're holding up very well, which is showing a lot of strength in the market right now for certain coins. And Solana itself is up 5% on the dip. What's interesting is the Sol Bitcoin dominance. Let me let this load for a second. The Sol to Bitcoin dominance is up 10% on the day. I didn't realize how volatile this can get, but this to me shows a lot of strength, with Solana. I have a feeling that Solana is going to pull insane moves, dominance-wise to Bitcoin at some point. Almost like how we saw ETH, I think, in the last cycle, or maybe the cycle before. Because ETH to Bitcoin is obviously up as well, but not nearly as much. But I don't know. It's hard to gauge, hard to know, because I think most of more mainstream crypto, is on ETH. Most coins in every narrative across the board are Ethereum tokens. So I think for a lot of people to claim that ETH is just dead and Solana is like the new wave, like, yeah, I get where you're coming from. Like, maybe for memes, Solana is going to be a king chain for memes this cycle, 100%. But I'd say 95% of, common utility projects that have been out that are existing are on Ethereum. That's where I don't think Ethereum itself is going to just, not perform. I think it'll perform, I don't want to say just as well as Sol, because I think meme coins will have a huge cycle in and of itself this entire bull run, but, ETH will perform, bottom line. But I just wanted to bring that up as well. So now, all right, so 12 minutes in, we're going to get into some alts. Popcat, I would not be buying up here because this is literally at all-time highs. I'm telling you guys, do not buy this at current levels. Even if it goes up, you never want to be someone that's buying into green like that. If we're looking at Popcat 2 weeks ago down here, I'd be telling you to jump in if it was one that I'm super bullish on, which, the strength in Popcat's very good, but this is not like a conviction coin of mine by any means. But obviously crypto Twitter says differently. But obviously we got Mog. Mog is still my top meme coin. The top meme coin for the cycle, in my opinion, on ETH. This chart just looks beautiful. It looks primed for another run at some point. RSI is showing strength at the bottom. It almost got into oversold territory, but didn't really hit that yet. It hasn't really been in oversold since literally last September. So, if this does come down one more time, I have a feeling that will be the bottom, worst case for this coin. But this chart is just holding up unbelievably strong as well. So I'm not going to get into a bunch of memes here. I'll probably make another video solely dedicated on memes. So let's pull up a bunch of different charts too, all right? So another one that I've actually been watching and looking at is actually Portal. So Portal is like I think it's still one of the most hype gaming projects, at least before it launched. This was one of the most hype projects I think I've ever seen. With the amount of partnerships, people behind it. This was a powerhouse of a project, but, obviously it depends on how many people are actually, got into pre-sales, private sales, investors like that. Because obviously this chart looks horrid, right? It is down, I don't want to call it from up here, but like, let's just say like even from here, down around 70, probably can continue down a little bit more. But it is down very heavy. But, if you guys watch my channel, you've seen many of my videos. This is where the opportunity lies, though. And Portal, I'm not giving you guys this as a buy signal. Please do your research. Look into this token before you even, jump at it. I'm just giving you guys just some random info here on some coins. Because I think Portal, with their partnerships, their backers, I don't think this coin is not going to perform at all this bull run. I think it's going to perform very well. At some point, I think this could be a top performer in the gaming sector. But usually when you see a chart like this, it's kind of like a full out cup and handle, right? So, this is probably going to bounce, come back down. Eventually, it's going to have a nice pump to the upside before it retests. And then this kind of strength is going to show. Many different calls that I've had in the past have done exactly this. A lot of different coins, including NKI. You had AGI was another one. Landex was a third one that we've called. And there's actually plenty more. But this is like a classic chart in which most people might not want to look at this chart right now. They might not be bullish on it by any means. But once this starts to reverse, it starts to turn, it starts to show signs of bullishness. Once we see this pump, that's when everyone is like, oh my god, I missed it. I missed the bottom. So just for reference, this is Portal. I like the chart. It might look horrible to a lot of you guys, but most of the time when charts look like this, that is like the opportunity and gift of a lifetime. I don't know too much. I haven't looked into the tokenomics 100% on Portal, which is also why I'm telling you guys to do your own research on it, please. Because this is one I've just been looking at. I'm not invested in. I don't plan on investing yet until I do full research on it. But again, just based off technicals, which I'm a very technical person in crypto. That's mainly what I look at before anything is the chart. Chart looks good. Has been dipping, at 133 million market cap. If Dex Screener is correct on that, which sometimes it's not. Chart does look good on Portal. Another one that I really am bullish on is Star Heroes. So from launch, I talked about this at launch, and I'm like 90% sure that I said to wait because I had a feeling and I almost knew this was going to happen for this project. This is why I always tell you guys to listen through certain videos that I talk about coins, because a lot of times I'll talk about a coin and a lot of people might just blindly buy into it. But again, if you blindly bought into something I'm talking about, you'd be down pretty heavily, right? Which is why I always tell you guys, wait for a coin to bottom out. I know it's hard sometimes to tell, but this is all off too on Star Heroes. But again, from a technical standpoint, this chart does look pretty good. It looks like it's close to bottomed out. It could be kind of bottomed out from here. But same thing with this one. Their tokenomics are okay. I have done, I did a full breakdown video on Star Heroes. But I do think this is a good project. But it's going to be it's kind of a waiting game. Same thing as Portal, We're just going to see this eventually. This eventually is going to reverse. Probably bounce up. It'll probably crack these all-time highs, go to a couple dollars, $2, $3, $4. Then it's probably gonna have a correction bounce, and do its thing. Same thing. But Star Heroes chart looks good. And both of these two projects I just mentioned, Portal, Star Heroes, these are crypto gaming projects. You guys can look at those, jump into them. We obviously talked about MOG. And if you guys know now, Retardio is one of my favorite meme coins on Solana. I might as well pull it up because this is actually one of the only coins I've been heavily adding to over the last few weeks here. I've added to obviously conviction memes, and then this here I just drew this because this is like a one of the last DCAs I put in. I just want to give myself a little target to be okay, if this starts to move because of the bullishness, we could probably see this, go straight up from here. But again, not financial advice. Please do your research looking into these meme coins, especially if you guys aren't on crypto Twitter. You don't really understand, why I actually am bullish on this one. When you look at this, if you just look at it from the website and you look at their Twitter and you don't follow people around them, if you're not on crypto Twitter, seeing what this culture is like, it's going to look like the most random coin that I'm talking about, And honestly, same thing with most meme coins that people will bring up on YouTube. You really have to be on Twitter heavily. You have to be following people that are, you know, very almost into the culture. A lot of people that are heavily on crypto Twitter, you know, you just got to get a good feel for the entire market, you know, and the best way to do that is typing in these tickers on Twitter, you know, seeing what people are talking about with this coin or with these coins that you have. Start following these people that you find funny, people that you think, you know, have really good takes based on the tokens that you're bullish on or that someone else talks about and maybe you're questioning on buying and then you start looking into it on Twitter. You know, I have to tell you, Twitter is, you know, a huge place for alpha. You know, I know a lot of people claim, you know, Telegram, like alpha starts in Telegram or alpha groups, and then it goes into Twitter groups, then it goes onto Twitter, then it goes onto YouTube. But, you know, I'm telling you right now, I get 95% of my information from Twitter. That's how I find any and every altcoin that I've ever looked into, you know. Twitter is like the hub. If you don't have a Twitter, then you are missing out on 80% of, you know, the crypto culture and 80% of potential, you know, earlier projects and gains. I'm trying to think of, let me bring up one more coin here because like I said, I've only brought up a few. You know, I can bring up a few AI that I really like. You know, another one of them is AIT. You know, AIT is actually down bad. Like, this chart is nuts to me. I can't believe that this chart has gone this far down. Like, this is almost down from initially when I was talking about it for a potential entry. Literally before it shot up to like over $1. You know, this has just been wild. And I think that it will AIT, a lot of people had it staked or locked up, which could be why it's been consistently going down. If people are consistently unstaking their AIT, but don't quote me on that. I'm not 100% certain. But I firmly believe that AIT as an AI protocol has a lot more upside to come over the next, you know, few weeks, few months, into the next year. I think this is going to have an explosive bull run. I love this project. They also are part of the BitTensor ecosystem now. They're part of a BitTensor subnet, which, you know, that might be a whole nother video in itself that I make. I talked about that in like a video over a month ago on Tau subnet projects, how it's going to be a new narrative. At the time it was, but as of right now, Tau subnets, you know, there are a bunch of very solid ones that are building, kind of related to Tau, which BitTensor is I guess I don't track it here. Oh, Wrap Tau, never mind. Let me see if this is the right one. I can just tell by the chart. Yeah, it is. But yeah, based on charts or even Tau, like BitTensor, easily a top AI coin. Like, yo, like look at this dip, guys. This is beautiful. Another thing too, if you guys are holding coins literally in the top 100 to top 200, I really do believe that you guys shouldn't even be caring about the price of your coins. If you are in very, very prominent and strong projects, aka most of the projects that are in the top 100, top 200, you know, you really don't have to be worrying too much about your bags because crypto has dips. You know, every altcoin is going to dip. And they're going to dip way more than Bitcoin does, way more than ETH does, right? But again, if you're in a project like BitTensor, where obviously this is one of the king AI coins in the entire sector, right? So for you to be freaking out because you're down a little bit on BitTensor, you know, that's like, I don't even know what that I can compare that to, but you shouldn't even be worrying about this coin at all. This is going to continue to go higher and higher, just like Render as well. Top 2 AI coins in the space right now. You know, and again, don't focus on market cap and stuff here. This is just not like the actual Tau. This is a Wrap Tau. It's a little different. I'm not going to get into it, but, you know, top AI coins, it's like, yo, you guys can just buy and forget. Buy it here, buy it here, buy it here. Buy the literal peak. Buy the bottom, buy the bottom. It's like, I firmly believe that the top AI coins non-stop are going to continue up. You know, these are coins you almost have to not even stress about, not even worry. You know, BitTensor, I could see going to at least 1,000, a couple thousand. at the end of the cycle, I think it still has a lot of room to grow. So that's BitTensor, you know. And again, Render has one of the cleanest charts as well in crypto today. I think the Render charts looks beautiful. So it's sitting at almost 3 billion, but you know, you can just see this chart, guys. Like, look at this. Well, if it can load today, that would be good. Holy. So yeah, look at this. I think this is absolutely beautiful. You know, and I'm gonna bring up another 1 or 2 AI coins after this. But again, like this is beautiful. You know, you could have got an entry anywhere in the past 2 years down here. All you gotta do is hold. Yeah, it shot up to 12, it's back down to 7, but we call that a dip in the market, right? But look how perfect this has dipped. It has dipped straight onto, you know, previous all-time high support. But what is next for this? Yeah, where is this thing? What is next is eventually a break into a bounce, you know, into another move to the upside, into a minimum $15, $20, $25 maybe, you know, depending on just how high AI can go this cycle. You know, again, we've only seen this go from the lows just above all-time highs, right? This has not actually been in price discovery yet. So Render, again, cleanest, literally one of the cleanest charts in crypto today. And it's a literal top coin, top narrative. You know, I don't think you can lose with Render, to be honest. As long as you're getting in on dips like it is now. Again, which is why I'm making this video. Because I know a lot of you guys jump into coins without, you know, listening to certain things on what I have to say. And I don't want to lose everyone money, you know. I'm trying to give you guys the best entries, the best coins that I know. You know, coins that I'm personally invested in. And I don't know, I'm trying to give you guys the best knowledge that I can give you, you know. So we got another one is Olas, but there actually have been a couple other AI coins related to Auto Nolas, as in like AI agent related. But I think Auto Nolas still is gonna have a beautiful bull run, you know, over the next few months, over the next year. You know, even from here, this is just on a great dip, in my opinion, as well. You know, I know a lot of people consider certain dips like, oh, bearish, it broke support, it's going down. But honestly, in my opinion, like, this is down heavily, but, you know, most of the entire market is down bad, you know. But down 70%, like, that's honestly a pretty good entry. Just long term, you know. Again, if you just set it and forget it, you know, let it bounce. Maybe it goes down a little more. Bounces, comes back down, you know, has another leg up, you know, could pull something like that. I would not be surprised to see it. But again, you know, this market is very speculative, guys. I personally am betting everything that this was not the end. You know, I'm betting that everything is going to have another leg up at some point. I have been since I got into crypto. You know, or at least started investing for this bull run. You know, I've had my thesis well past Bitcoin at current levels that it hit, you know. But no, as far as for other alts, let me do one more, because this is still my favorite AI coin in crypto today. But this chart is absolutely down bad. So this is NKI. Still my favorite AI coin. I still hold all of my bag. And, you know, this was just for reference of, like, you know, some sort of target I could see it hitting. You know, 60 cents, I think, long term would be a great target to have for it. But as you can see, this chart just had a beautiful run up. It came all the way back down, but now it's just kind of settling here, you know. But I still have firm belief in this project. You know, maybe it eventually just, it fizzles out, as in volume kind of really stops and slows and picks up. You know, maybe it bounces again, has another leg up. You know, it could do something just like that. I would not be surprised to see that. I'm very, very bullish. like I said, on this project, I've DCA'd into this I don't know how many times, starting down here. This is, the other thing I was talking about, with how you look at charts, how, if you didn't know this leg up happened, right? Like, you'd see this chart, just like Star Heroes, just like Portal, you look at the chart, and it just looks like it's down bad, right? You're like, oh my god, why does this look horrible? But then if you zoom out and you see that the coin has finally found a bottom, and once it actually finds a bottom here, you can get in at the lows, and it's probably going to be one of the best entries you can ever get for a coin like this, But from the top to down, it went down 75%. Again, if you never saw the pump, which it ended up pumping like 10 to 15x from the lows if you got in down here. If you just jumped in, you jumped in at the lows because you saw it bottoming out, it was holding the support. And AI was obviously taking off at the time. It ended up pulling huge moves, right? But this is what I still expect from many, many projects, many new projects that are still out. Do I expect this from them though? No. Again, this dip, I can't explain why this went down so hard. But I love NKI. I use this literally over ChatGPT personally now. I don't expect everyone to, but if you guys have never used it, check out maybe not chat. I think it's just go to nki.com. Try out their LLM. It's basically a ChatGPT, but they have close to no limitations on any of the questions or answers you need from it. It's very cool, but you also have to know how to talk to the LLM. You can't just ask it certain questions straight up, expect an answer from it. You need to learn how to talk to an LLM because there are ways around certain things, and that's all I'm going to say for it. But keep that in mind when you're going into it. But yeah, I love this project. Still one of my top AI holdings. But I do think we will firmly see another run up at some point for this. But that's what I got for you guys today. This is a long ass video, 32 minutes. So hope you guys found some value just in a bunch of these coins, top conviction coins, a lot of strong ones here, just check them out, jump into some. And again, not a financial advisor, do your own research. This is for information purposes only, but I'm giving you guys coins that I like, some that I'm personally invested in that I think still have great long-term potential, and that's how I'm playing this market right now. So that's what I got for you guys today. I appreciate you for watching, and I will see you in the next videos. Thank you.